What's going on, Sergio? How you doing? Tuesday.
Great.
Tuesday.
I may trigger you today, so be careful.
You may trigger me. Oh, let's see. Let's go. Oh, I may trigger myself with with the way the Bills played.
Oh, you killed it, bro. Come on.
Jesus. But I mean, honestly, like it was for those who know or don't know, I live in Buffalo, and Buffalo Bills fan through and through the good times and the bad. For the many years of horrible shit, we still are in Bills country. But they've been doing good the last few years, and they just can't get over that divisional hump. They just can't do it.
So now that you brought it up right away, I'm gonna put some salt on your wound. So I read every email that I receive. I got a bunch of them today from different cities saying that ask Chris about wide right. So now that you started it, you might as well, go ahead. That's not to me. That's to you all who sent me the emails. I listened.
I already saw a couple people in the comments already.
Yeah, I listened to I read the emails, and I just transferred.
Snow is melting in NYC or in New York, buddy.
That's what it looks like. Wide right, buddy.
I know. Like, okay, first off, you know what? I'm actually going to come to the dude's defense a little bit, because first of all, there should have been nobody going after him or his family or anything like that. That's absolutely unacceptable. Secondly, dude, you have the chance to try to tie up a game with, a little bit of time left on the clock, and you are trying to win the game, and you don't really do that many kicks throughout the year because your team is actually pretty good in getting into the end zone. So, you got that. And then on top of it, all the pressure, all of the everything, I'd like to see anybody who's complaining go out there and try and make the kick. I guarantee you 99.9% of those people won't even make it from the hash marks down to the end of the end zone because they can't kick it like that. So I'm going to give him, I'm going to give him a little there. But on the other side, dude, you're a kicker and you have one job to do. You literally kick the ball into the goalpost. And it doesn't matter if the pressure is on from lava being on the floor. I don't care, dude. That's your job. You cannot miss that, especially with no wind. And let's be real, there was no wind. You look at the flags that were on the top of the goalposts, they were not swaying at all. And so you had a clear kick to tie up that game. I guess as in Buffalo, we always have to say there's always next year. But I don't know. I'm waiting for the next Super Bowl. I'm waiting for the Super Bowl logo to come out. I'm hoping that there's going to be a blue in there, so maybe we can say it's going to be the Bills versus somebody. But unfortunately, I don't know yet. So from what I heard, next year's Super Bowl is already picked. It's Steelers and I forget who else.
Well, pressure does weird things to people. Okay, some people can perform under pressure, some people cannot. And having played soccer all my life at a very high level, and my son plays now, I've tried to kick the egg-shaped ball straight. Okay, aerodynamically, it's really a difficult thing to do. I can kick a soccer ball 80 yards, relatively straight, but this thing like a squirrel hitting a squirrel, bro. I've tried it many times off of a tee. That thing is not going anywhere. I'm like, nah, it's not easy. It's not as easy as people think it is. So yeah, give the kicker a break now.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, all right, KC and Buffalo have been, at heads the last couple of years. They're both really great teams. The game overall was just absolutely amazing. It was probably it was the best playoff game this year, bar none. And it was probably the best playoff game since the last KC Buffalo game 2 years ago. And they just put on a great show. There were very, very few mistakes on both sides of the ball. I mean, there were a couple here and there, but it was one of those that was just so damn good. At the end of the game, I'm like, hey, you got to give them respect there for both sides. So really,
that's wide right there.
All right, well,
wide left,
thanks.
whatever. Okay, hit.
Thanks, hit
Thank you.
Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah. On active time only, by the way. So if your utilization is 50%, it's not true. It's just $13. So
yeah. Well, it depends on how long somebody's in the car for, or it depends on P2 and P3.
Yeah,
so that's really what it depends on.
Active time, utilized time, book time, whatever you guys want. Yeah, there you go.
You're right. It is World Carnivore Month.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they have had a bad history with kickers.
All right.
It's an unfortunate thing, but you know, it is what it is. I'm hoping that they'll figure it out and get things going for next year. I mean, they got a salary cap issue right now. I think they got to get rid of Stephon Diggs. I think they got to get rid of Von Miller. Two names that, you know, they're big names, but the problem is they really didn't do anything this year. Every time Stephon was targeted, it wasn't really that great. He had a couple of great catches throughout the year, but other than that, he's, you know, not that great. You got a lot of other great players out there that you could keep, and that are up and coming. And I think you know, you look at that, you can help with your salary cap. Allen's going to come up on the. There's quite a bit. So either way, this is not a football, but you know, I don't mind talking football. You know, I'm going to say go Lions, and I'm going to actually say go Ravens. Sorry. You know, the salt is still in that wound there. So go Ravens, and then hopefully it'll screw up the expected San Francisco 49ers slash Ravens Super Bowl matchup. So come on, Lions, let's do that. Screw up the so-called fixing, and
the Super Bowl this year is in Vegas, right? And today there was a great article. It was like a TV station did a great little snippet on Vegas drivers complaining about low fares, and we continuously are complaining about those. And I think, you know, this is great. There, you know, that the issue of the driver is getting a lot more front page news these days, and I'm gonna do my best to get it. When I'm talking about news, sad news to report, I want to give a shout out to Brian Merchant, a great friend at LA Times, literally the voice of our Uber and Lyft community. LA, and you know, he was the author of that Prop 22 article last May, and he always is, you know, great with our issues and bringing it up to the front. Unfortunately, he was on our show 3 weeks ago, and he gave up a couple of books, talked about his latest book, Blood in the Machine, the Luddites story. Today, with about another 113 people, Brian Merchant, on his anniversary, actually, today was his first anniversary at LA Times, they all got laid off. The whole business department got laid off at LA Times. So, Brian, I don't think you're watching, but much love. Stand strong, brother. We're with you. You were with us before, and we're with you all the way. I'm sure you'll hang your flag somewhere, and we'll do a lot more good work together. But keep your head up. You're the best out there. That's it. So much love.
Well, there's a lot of layoffs going on all over the place. So that's just another one in the whole thing. Yeah, Sports Illustrated just laid off a lot of people, and then you know, you got layoffs in big tech still happening all over. So quite a bit's going on when it comes down to that. So, oof. But people still need rides, so that's what we're here for. But yeah, we got quite a bit to talk about. Let's get into you know, what we're going to be talking about. We are supposed to have a guest on who has not showed up yet, but should be. So we will keep you updated with that. He is Eid Ali of MULDA, which is Minnesota Uber Lyft Drivers Association. Here to talk about what's going on in Minnesota, what they're doing there. They're taking pretty much the same playbook as Seattle and Washington State and bringing it into Minnesota and doing that. So hopefully he will be on in just a few moments. If not, we're going to continue on. When he does come in, then we'll bring him on. But we're also going to be talking about Uber bundling reservations now, similar to something like Uber Eats. And is this going to be a good idea or not? Then we're going to be talking about Uber complaining about commercial insurance. I know a lot of people just got some emails about commercial insurance today. We do have one up that we're going to show you as well. But here's the thing. The math is not adding up, and that's pretty much off of today's title. So yeah, Uber's math and commercial insurance is not adding up. We're going to break it down and see what's going on there, as well as that email. We didn't get it squeezed in because we got a couple of people who emailed in. So thank you for that. And then also, we're going to be talking about the Uber CEO, Dara, is in Davos, hanging out with other billionaires and trying to get the government to help accelerate the adoption of EVs for drivers. what can the government do to help drivers get into EVs instead of what can Uber do? So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about fake accounts, especially within delivery space, are just exploding. So is there anything that Uber Eats and DoorDash are even doing about it? And what's going on there? Also, we're going to be talking about Uber's fake GPS accusations are an issue. And we're going to be ending the show with some facts and funnies. And we'll see, maybe we might be able to bring some people on as well. So we got a jam-packed show for you. And not only that, before we get started, we do want to make a couple of announcements. First off, I know Sergio wanted to make mention of the newsletter. So Sergio, if you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. So I started writing again. I love writing. I started writing, then doing this song and dance on YouTube last year and a half, but my passion was always writing. And now I'm writing again for our newsletter. Okay. FREE. It's free. So let's not get into any of that other stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people these days, Chris, don't like to read. They like watch, TikTok, all that bullshit. I mean, this is great articles about.
But hold on. Before, you can actually have your phone translate what's on the screen. So you can actually turn it into an audio read thing. So
okay. All right. So please sign up. It's free. And all you do is you get an email with an article in it. The articles are written by me, Jay, and Tyler about our experiences doing rideshare, some tips, some tricks, how our weekend went, our results, the way we look at our matrix. I mean, it's great shit. Seriously, you guys will learn a lot. If you don't know, even if you know, I mean, look, maybe you're missing something. Then we'll just, do that. So please go to rideshareguy.com and sign up to the newsletter. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, one other plug. We have full of plugs today. Tomorrow, me and Harry, we went at it. We have a new debate show called Crossfire. I think I won. I'm not going to give you more than that, though. So we pick 3 topics and we talk about it 10 minutes. We go at it. We go at it, right? And sometimes Harry will do his corporate shield bullshit over there, and then I will pound him and smirk that, wipe that smirk off his face that's on the thumbnail. Tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, premiere, free again. And what I want you guys to do, we're going to leave a link, Google, Google Docs link for future episodes. If you guys like it, watch it. Number 1. Number 2, leave in the comments who won, who lost the debate, 3 topics. And then put your ideas in there for future debates, topics, right? I mean, we have a lot, but maybe there's something you guys want us to debate. I'll take one side, Harry's going to take the other side, and we're going to go at it. So that's it. Tomorrow, noon, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, dropping Crossfire. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone, buddy, because I think our guest is calling. I think our guest is calling. Anyway, so he's not around.
Right, well, not only that, we also have another show that we're going to be on tomorrow, and that's in the morning. And that is, so we're going to be on Market Scale tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, talking about major challenges to improving rideshare safety, how the industry can work to find solutions to these challenges in 2024. We're also going to be joined with Chuck Gershman, who is the CEO and co-founder of Owl AI, and Abdul Kasim, CEO of Display Ride, who's been on here a couple of times. And, we've talked about the Display Ride dash camera and even body camera. So we're going to be talking with them. So make sure you head over and check out Market Scale. We're going to be on that. Again, it's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, or I'm sorry, 8 a.m. Pacific. So it's going to be earlier in the morning. And it's going to be a good conversation, though. And we're looking forward to that. Not only that, we also have our memberships. So if you'd like to support the channel, if you can, if not, don't worry about it. But if you can, great. And we look forward to that. We're also going to have our monthly member live stream for those members out there that are able to. And that is going to be this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. That will be on Thursday. Again, this Thursday coming up. So if you want to take part in that special monthly live stream, You got to become a member for that. You'll get the link, and I believe it should show up in the sub feed when it comes down to it. But either way, it'll be in a community post. So for our members there, make sure you pay attention to that. And we're going to have a special members only live stream. All right.
All right.
So I don't see
our guest says, waiting for you. I'm in. He's not in. We don't see him, right?
Nope,
so I may have to do a live phone call while we're doing this. Okay, I texted him, so we'll see what happens. So sorry if I'm looking down. I'm trying to communicate with our guest because it's really, really important that he's on. He's the head of the Minnesota Uber Lyft Drivers Association. And look, I get a lot of emails, Chris, from different cities saying, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do Seattle? How do I do Chicago? I go, look, you guys got to have a playbook. This is the playbook that we were going to talk about, and hopefully he can do it. He says, okay, hold on, sorry. It's saying the host is going to let you anytime. Is he in the wrong place? StreamYard link?
I think he's in the wrong place. But okay, why don't you just have him? Why don't you just have him on the phone?
Let me mute myself. Let me call him real quick, and then you have.
Okay. So yeah, there was a little bit of issue when it came to that, but we're gonna make sure. Oh, I see him now. Hold on. Hi, how you doing? Eid, how you doing?
Good. Sergio.
All right. Well, we were just about to give you a call and do it over the phone, but glad you could come on and get going. So we are looking forward to this. So thank you for taking time coming on and talking about this, because obviously this is a big, important topic for many drivers around not only just Minnesota, but also around the country, especially when it comes to something like Seattle, Washington, kind of leading the charge, and other areas are starting to pick it up. So I'll give it right over to Sergio. So Sergio.
So Eid, pleasure to meet you. I've spoken to you before, obviously. Thank you for showing up. I think this is a very important topic that I wanted to talk about for a while, because I'm a huge supporter of the Seattle, Washington State business model for the TNCs, right? Uber and Lyft. And a lot of people ask me, what's our playbook? I want to do this in my city. I want to duplicate this in my city, right? Well, I know you guys kind of pretty much carbon copied whatever happened in Seattle and started MULDA. So explain who you are, introduce yourself. What is MULDA? How did it start? And we'll go from there.
Well, thank you so much, Sergio, and thank you. I'm sorry for the technical issues, but
no worries.
My name is Eid Ali. I'm the president and the founder of MULDA, which stands for Minnesota Uber and Lyft Drivers Association. It's an organization that was started a little over a year, probably about, I would say 2 years, June 16, 2022, with 22 drivers. So mainly frustrated drivers who were struggling at the time came to somewhere and kind of started talking about the issues, the concerns, and all this stuff. So in that conversation, we decided that the only way that we can go forward and to the next level is to just kind of organize and kind of put our efforts together. And in that conversation, we realized that not only going out and protesting and striking is not going to be the only way to get where we want to be. So we realized that it's going to take some time, but we have to kind of put things together, organize ourselves, register an organization, talk to people who will give us all of the things, all the counseling that we might need to have, because if we didn't have, we didn't know how to run an organization prior to that. So thank God we did a wonderful job by just talking to the right person or to the right people. And it was also the right time because it was late 2022, and there was an election at the moment going on. And then we just try to kind of see politicians and all of those different people that we wanted to have a relationship with. And it was easy for us to kind of reach them out. And that is how it started. And then we just kind of started, collecting a few dollars from the drivers so that we can hire our own attorney, just kind of rent an office place. And then we started to expose ourselves and just meet some, reach out with some politicians just to get some events. So that is how it came about. And then we had some contacts with Seattle and some great friends over there. And they kind of coached us on what they have done before. And that is how we came about getting something in the makings about legislation. And then we started with city of Minneapolis, and then also moved to the next level, which was that we had some good friends. We still have plenty of friends in this Minnesota state legislators. So we contacted them, and they were very friendly to us. And then we introduced them our legislation or the language that we had at the time, and that is how we just kind of exploded to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great summary. And so for people who are watching, and by the tens of thousands that are going to watch after this, our replay, this is the playbook. The way it's a grassroots movement, right? At airports, you guys can do this. Print some of your flyers, talk to other drivers, get drivers together. Because look, I do also believe that there is a point of striking and demonstrations and protests, but it is not enough, right? We need to get the ears of the local legislators first, because my plan is to support everything and anything in a city by city, state by state level. So to give it a little background, right? You guys, with the help of Senator Fatah, passed, in the state level, ordinance was passed, or a law was passed, and then it was vetoed by Governor Walz, right? And then at the city level, there was an ordinance passed, and Mayor Frey vetoed that one, right? So you guys hit a wall, right? Obviously, and then Governor Walz said, we're going to have our own committee. We're going to study it 4 months. All they did is waste 4 months, and then nothing happened out of that committee, correct? And now you guys are back at it again. So let's pick it up from there. So you had 2 steps backwards, but now you're taking a step forward, and explain us what's happening now.
Well, thank you, Sergio. Basically, when our bill was vetoed on the state level, the governor, like you said, kind of created a commission or a task force, which I become also a member of that task force. So we never said that our bill was vetoed and killed, so that we need to just kind of go home and do nothing. Now, we said that we're going to take advantage from any opportunity, even it's that little, to do something about our case. So we became a very active participant of that task force, and we negotiated, we talked. It wasn't very fun one, but it was that was an option that we wanted to use for our own benefits. It's not what we wanted, but we thought that was one step to the right direction, at least. So the task force had all kind of folks who were representing different parts of the society. So Uber had a representative, Lyft had a representative. The House Majority Leader was also a part of that. So it was kind of a mixture of folks from different backgrounds. And we thought that if we can amplify our hardship and everything in that committee, it would be something. So thank God. We didn't get whatever we wanted, but we just made a progress by kind of negotiating on some of the stuff as far as the deactivation issue, the transparency, and also the insurance part. And one more thing, I believe the resource center. So basically, out of the 5 areas that we were pushing, which is transparency, the activation, resource center, insurance, and the wage, we at least kind of agreed on some level on 4 out of the 5. So that was not as bad as we thought it was going to be. And now that report was given back to the governor on, I believe, January 1st. So it's now waiting to be given to the legislators, who will just come back on February 12th. So that's where we're at now.
Okay, but the pushback of our community and a lot of communities is going to be, I've been doing this for 8 years, and from the first moment till today, and we know where earnings are at as far as drivers are concerned, right? That is the main focus point of the community. We're not making enough money to pay our bills. Upfront fares came around right about you guys started organizing. That's another cut. we're not getting, I mean, pay is the #1 issue in the community. And it seems like out of 5 things, pay was left out, right?
Right. Yeah.
And now, is there something happening in the city council level now that pay may get addressed, or what is going to happen? I mean, if pay is not getting addressed, a lot of people are going to go, oh yeah, we lost this one too. So what do you say to that?
Well, thank you, Sergio. The good news about the city of Minneapolis is that our bill was vetoed by Mayor Jacob Fry last year. And so we were fighting to get more folks to just be part of that city council member. So thank God in our last election, we just get two more progressive people joined into the city council member. So we are in a very good shape now. The president, the newly nominated president of city council member of Minneapolis, is very friendly to us. The vice president, the same thing too. So we are in a very, very good shape this time that we're going to get something out of that. So the January 30th is going to be the day that that rate will be read out, because it was sent to folks to study, and they're going to come back with that study on January 30th. So we are in a very, very good shape when it comes to the city of Minneapolis. And I believe the rate is going to be $1.40 per mile and 54 cents per minute, which is quite reasonable. So that's what we're expecting from city of Minneapolis.
I agree. Okay, so there's 2 battles happening, one at the state level, one at the city level, right? Yes. So for our audience to understand this, so they did lose both fights, but then they kept going at it. This is what we have to do. We cannot just get slapped once or twice and just run back to our corner. We got to keep at it, right? And so at the city level now, there was elections, and then a couple of more progressive, you're saying, but I'd say driver friendly, maybe city council members were added. So that vote is when? January 30th?
That's when they're going to read the study, and then probably maybe 2 weeks later they're going to have maybe a hearing, and then after that hearing there's going to be the last.
And you're hopeful that something can be passed with those rates that you just discussed and with the other protections as well?
Yeah, 90%, yes.
Okay, so now that you have more council members, how many city council members are in the city of Minneapolis? Is it 12?
13.
So you need 60% in case Governor or Mayor Frey override, or vetoes it again. You will possibly have override powers.
Yeah, we need 9 folks to be there to override his veto. And I think we were inching towards 9. I believe we have 8 solid, but we were inching towards 9.
Okay, so now you guys are doing exactly what City of Seattle did, right? You have the council. You're going to start this fire, I call it, in the city of Minneapolis, right? Because one of our amazing contributors lives in Minneapolis. His name is Joe, and I talk to him all the time, and he goes, I'm going to support with everything I have, so I will introduce you guys. Actually, he's the one that introduced me to you, but so my voice is going to be yours, right? So whatever you need from me, I'm willing to email to all our city Minneapolis viewers, watchers, listeners. Please go support this. Please, when MULDA is putting on an event or a protest, please go support this cause. This is higher rates, more protections, and I think it's a better package than what it is. Now, we're going to hear from Uber and Lyft the usual playbook. Or we're going to leave, right? Or the rates are going to go up, or you're going to lose your flexibility. What do you say to all those 3 things that Uber and Lyft always say?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, that was the challenge that some of the politicians were just kind of playing over and over. So if we just accept whatever rate you guys are coming up with, which we think is fair, then the consequence is not going to be a friendly one. I mean, the backlash because of Uber and Lyft are very, there are multi-billion-dollar corporations. I mean, they're capable of just leaving, the city, and then we're going to have that issue of not having, companies who will serve for the people. So what can we do? So to be honest with you, we have been reached out by a number of other companies who are interested in coming into this market. as far as from New York and also some local ones. So we are having an ongoing conversation with those other folks. But we hope that, I mean, this market is huge, so that it will help everybody if we get more other competitors to join into the market. But at this point, I don't think that we're going to have that threat, because of Uber and Lyft have realized that it's very, very important and critical to acknowledge that this issue has to be resolved without, without kind of creating all kind of fearful tactics to either the politicians or with the rest of the public.
Yeah, I mean, I am in touch with both companies, obviously, at very high levels, right? Look, this was created by them. They shouldn't be crying now that, oh, we're going to leave. Oh, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. It's not the driver's problem. I mean, you're running a business. We're running a business. If my business is going under and your business is flourishing, you became a $130 billion company. I don't want any of that 130 billion. What I want is I want fair pay for my work. And I want you to recognize me as a human being, number one. Number two, don't, deactivate me for some BS that some passenger says. Give me some rights that I can work with. And also I can put food on the table, because at the rates that upfront fares are presenting, I don't think it's feasible, honestly, to operate a vehicle and be a profitable business just like Uber and Lyft are, right? So, I mean, look, I'll give you a couple more minutes. Give us a closing. We got your playbook. This is the playbook, people. Listen to the man. And, I will support anything you guys need. I'm telling you. And I think this is a win that the drivers need in the city of Minneapolis. And if we do get this, and I think there's other cities now are going to fall in line. Chicago may fall in line. Boston may fall in line. But this playbook could be repeated with different rates in different cities and then spread out to the state. That's the playbook. And here's the man. He started MULDA. I mean, he's the president of it. He should know. So I'll give you a couple of minutes in closing. Whatever you want to talk about, let's do that, and then we'll say goodbye to you. I know you're busy.
Well, thank you, Sergio, and thank you for the opportunity. I know that so many people are watching today, and I understand this is a very frustrating moment for all Uber and Lyft drivers who are in across the country. But this was not fun. I mean, it was very challenging, but we did our share by just kind of bringing people together, just kind of educating them about the issues and the best way to approach it. Sometimes I know it's very frustrating to the drivers, assuming that things will just happen overnight, but it's a process. I have many of my fellow drivers who were very frustrated, and I thought that, okay, we have done all of the things that you ask us to do, but nothing is changing. It's even getting worse. What I am saying is, I mean, things get better before they get worse. Things will get better. But I mean, we need to be patient. We need to be following the steps of the leadership. And believe me, there will be some good news that we will get very soon. And hopefully we'll be a model, a role model for the rest of the country. And stick with us. And like Sergio said, just listen to what the leadership are just telling you. When we need you to come out, just to come out in numbers, and help us to just kind of flex our muscles and show whether it is the legislators or the politicians or even the TNCs. That way we can just kind of make a huge difference. Again, thank you for all of the people who have been with us, trusted us, and we're just investing their time and money with us, the allies and everybody else. But this is something that we need to duplicate everywhere in the country, because of we know that the need is not only here in Minnesota, it's everywhere. Thank you so much, Mr. Sergio. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for talking about this issue. This is very near to my heart, because I'm still a driver. I drive in Los Angeles. I'm driving now for peanuts, and it's just not, I can't operate a business profitably. And here it is. Here's Mr. Eid Ali from MULDA, Minnesota Uber and Lyft Drivers Association. It all started with couple 3, 5, 10, 20 drivers getting together. This could be done. A lot of people want things to be done and served to them on a platter, right? But somebody has to take the lead. He took the lead, and look where they are. And in many cities, you guys can do this. You guys can follow the lead. I will put you in touch with MULDA if you guys need to learn about their playbook. But I'm with you guys. I mean, I think we need a victory, and hopefully in a month or so, when the city council votes with higher rates and more protections for drivers, we'll get some good news, and then we'll have you back as a follow-up. And look, Eid, all I know is that I know these companies want to stay in business, and my job is not to put these companies out of business, because millions and millions of people depend on the income that they have through Uber and Lyft driving, right? But the point is, fairness has to come into play at some point, and right now stuff is not fair. You know what I mean? And we need some sort of, if legislation is the thing to bring these companies to the table, which what you guys are doing, they were at the table, right? Yes, you're negotiating. At least you guys are talking, right? As opposed to let them do what they want. That's just not sitting well with me. I want to thank you. I want to thank your brothers and sisters at MULDA. Much appreciated. We'll keep in touch. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Actually, before you go, Eid, I do have one question that I'd love for you to answer. And I think, if there's a driver out there that's watching that's, angered and mad and wants to actually start making some changes in their own particular area to begin with, what I want to know is, what was the conversation that you had with your fellow drivers to kind of get MULDA started, to kind of get that group going? How are you reaching out to other drivers in your area to kind of get them on board? What were you saying to them? And just kind of what were you doing in order to get it started? And I think that's something that if somebody's watching right now who is kind of fed up, who is kind of looking at some of these models, like what you're doing in your particular area, what they're doing in Seattle and Washington, other areas, and they're like, I can't continue on with this. It's not sustainable for me. But they're actually wanting to get out there and do some sort of grassroots movement. What was that initial conversation that you had with your friends, with your fellow drivers? And then how did you actually get started from there?
Well, thank you so much, Chris. That's very important. Yes. Well, the need is out there everywhere. I can tell. I mean, it's a matter of having a few drivers who are committed to the cause. For example, myself, I didn't work for my family. I have a very young family of 5 kids. I didn't do anything else except kind of talking to drivers, creating some, I don't know if you're familiar with it, WhatsApp group. So that was the initial step that we took. We just created a WhatsApp group, and then we were just telling everybody there is a way that we can communicate with each other. We have all kinds of things that we can tell you just to join us. And believe me, I stopped working for about 1.5 years, except doing, this task, because I thought that if I'm not committed 100% to this, that I will never reach that far. So that was number one thing, to make a commitment that you want to make change, regardless of what difficulties you may gonna go through. So the initial start was that we had 22 drivers who were committed, who were listening to me, who said that enough is enough. We're going to be with you all the way to the end, even though I only have maybe less than 10 out of the 22 that I started with. But that was the initial step, just to make a commitment to yourself. Complaining and talking about the hardship that you're going through every day, it's not going to take you anywhere. You have to be committed of doing something. And with that, you have to be ready, spending your own pocket, spending your own time, and also knowing the right way to just kind of communicate with drivers. So that is something that I will tell people. Number one, you have to negotiate with yourself before you just talk to anyone else. When you think that you're ready for this long-term commitment, then you can talk to the next person. You can persuade them, talk to them, tell them that you're on the same page. Because I myself, I was a driver, and I'm still a driver, even though that I haven't been driving for the last 1.5 years, that I was busy doing this. But long-term commitment, using your own time, forgetting about your own fun time, sometimes kind of compromising with the time that you used to spend with your family. It's very difficult. But that is what you might need to come up before you even think about persuading some other drivers.
All right, great. Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example of grassroots campaigning. That's how you have to do it. and you have to find some like-minded people and that they are fed up. Again, you know, we get a lot of complaining. I mean, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Well, no, somebody has to take the lead, and somebody has to be the leader in their city and do it. Talk is cheap, you know, doing is hard.
Right.
And that's what this man did. So, you know, again, much appreciated, Eid. And anything you guys need from us, you let us know. And we can't wait for the vote. Let's see what the vote turns out like.
Thank you, Sergio, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right. So that is Eid, and he is from MULDA again. And yeah, you know, this is kind of like a culmination of the last couple of weeks where we were talking about, you know, kind of having to be able to get out there and actually do something in order to make some changes. It's not just going to magically appear in your own area. If you are sick and tired of something and you want to change, you're the one who has to get out there and do it. And yeah, as he just said, it's a commitment, and it's something that's going to take effort, and it's going to take time. And frankly, a lot of people just aren't able to do that. But there are a few key leaders that are out there. And if you know somebody who is that key leader and is, you know, kind of in the same boat as you in terms of being sick and tired of it and want to see some change, you know, that's where maybe you have to approach them, or you try to take the reins, or whatever it might be. And that's where you're going to start seeing some movement and going to talk to different drivers and creating these groups and creating these channels of communication and be able to push that forward and then continue it on. And it's not going to be something that's going to be a short, quick process. It's going to take some time in order to go from step A to step Z, and everyone in between. But that is part of the playbook. You know, it's the initial steps of getting going. Then, you know, if that's somebody in our audience that's saying, hey, you know, he's making sense, I want to do something like that. You know, that's where, if you are truly committed and you want to make some changes, well, then, you know, that's when you start putting a couple of drivers together, get hold of either Sergio or myself. We can get you in touch with Eid. We can get you in touch with the people at Seattle to take it to the next levels, to take it to the next steps, and see what you can do in your particular area and your state as well.
Yeah, and you know, I'm watching the chat since Eid left. They're taking punches to our good old Donnie in Biloxi, Mississippi. So, first of all, everybody has a voice. You know, you guys cannot shut anybody up. We're not going to block anybody. We don't even block the worst trolls. Okay, so he's lucky to be in a market that's a tourist market, that's a casino market in Biloxi, Mississippi, and he drives XL. And he makes damn good money. So just because your market's shitty doesn't mean his market's shitty. And he has positive experiences, and he should be allowed to talk about Uber and Lyft positively. So when somebody shows up here and talks positively about this industry, I'm just not going to allow other people to just go pound the guy down, right? And there are positive things about this industry. There are negative things. We're trying to fix keep the positive and fix the negative. And in order for us to do that, all of us, including the complainers, the ants, the cherry pickers, all of us have to come together. And there are successful drivers around the nation, but I'm looking at more of the bigger picture, Chris, right? And the bigger picture is not pretty. Look, I've been collecting data from close to 70 cities now, thanks to the community. And the trend is not, the earnings trend is not the driver's friend. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people who are complaining are doing it justifiably so. And a lot of people who are doing well don't want anything to change. I get it. But this is not about me. This is about us. And in general, things right now are not as good as they used to be. And they're declining and they're getting worse. And in order to at least get to the table, people, okay, to have a seat at the table, you have two choices. You got to let Uber and Lyft run the way they want. The algos run wild, do whatever the heck they do, send you $3 trips to transport a human. No. There are good things that happens with rideshare, which is your flexibility, your freedom. Why all of you, 6.5 million of you driving out there, if this is so bad? It's because you're enjoying the company of people. You enjoy driving for your own reasons. Maybe you're not able to get another job, but it's not all bad. But there are some bad things happening, and they've been accelerating, and that's why we're trying to stop. So to get a seat at the table, legislation is a must. To find a friendly city council members and start something is a must. Otherwise, these people are not going to invite you to the table. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to get a table, have a voice. And so be kind to each other. Have a nice time. We're here to, inform, educate, and entertain. But let's not have the chats flying now. I can't see shit. But that's the playbook, okay? You guys heard the playbook there. There's a successful playbook. initiated and established and in work for 3 years in Seattle and Washington State. Hopefully, Minneapolis is going to be the next one, then spread to the state of Minnesota. Chicago will be the next one, state of Illinois. So we'll keep you posted, but I wanted to have this gentleman on for a long time, and I thought this was great.
Yeah, and I think, again, for those, the people are getting more and more tired and more sick, especially as things progress in time. Rates still continue to drop. We've seen the emails that we've gone over the last couple of weeks where they're sending out that, and now they're not even showing you the numbers. They're just saying it's busy out there during these times, so go out and drive. They're not even giving you a number because it's gotten so low. Then, you're coupling it with more and more drivers on the platform. It's very hard time for drivers in general. So, you're getting a lot of people who are sick and tired of it. You're going to get people backed into corners. And, when people get backed in corners, that's when shit can happen. It's coming down to the pain. And if you're not in pain, nothing's going to change. You're just going to sit there comfortably miserable. And
because complaining miserably, sitting, complaining, being miserably comfortable is not my style of play, right? I'm going to push this. I'm going to push this as much as I can with whatever I got for a 6-month period. If I can't do it, I'm out of here. So, but I need help. So if you are people who have the ability to be leaders in your own cities, and you can go do this like Eid did in his own city, reach out to me. I'll send you the playbook. And it's not that hard, but it started with a WhatsApp group. Think about it, people. It could start at an airport queue. You have 300-400 of you sitting there. Just take the leadership role. Go talk, go explain things, right? It's not about me getting more subscribers on RSG. That's not my point. I don't give a shit about YouTube or any of this shit. But what I'm trying to say is that the threat of legislation is the only way these people are going to come to the table. And I want to be at the table. And if you want to be at the table, you got to do shit. You can't just go get on YouTube and yell and scream and complain and say, nobody cares about what you're saying anyway. But if you have some substance, if you have some backing, if you have some friendly city council members in your city, you have to do the legwork. I'm in California. I'm not going to go to Dallas and do the legwork. You guys have to be the leaders of your own communities, and those communities come together. Then we have something, okay? But I want to thank Mulda and Eid Ali, and Senator Fatah was supposed to come on, but he's a senator. He doesn't come on YouTube probably. But so that's where we are. So let's continue with our show.
Right. Well, we have another little topic where is Uber bundling reservation rides. So this is pretty interesting.
I like this one. Here. I like this one. This I like. Now, I hate when they stack or bundle food orders. You know what they do, Chris? This freaking algorithm, bro. So they will put a high tipping delivery order with a no tip delivery order, right? So the high tipping delivery order guy or gal tipped because they want their food faster with good service, right? But then the freaking algo squeezes in that $2 no tip order in there. You can of course cancel that leg, obviously. But what they do is now I have to go to 2 restaurants. And if the second drop off is the high tipping customer order, they're going to get delayed for a $2 no tip order. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now they're doing this. I got this quite a few times this week. They're doing this. It's called a trip bundle. It's only on reservations. I think this is great. Uber. See, I said it. Uber and great in the same fucking sentence, Uber. Why is it good? First of all, you have to be online 40 minutes before a reservation, right? And the way the algo is figuring out is it's sending you from one reservation to another reservation. Look at the mileages and look at the dollars on these. These are wonderful, wonderful trips. I would do it in a heartbeat, right? So, and it doesn't seem like, because I don't know, what state these are from, but it doesn't seem like one is a shit order, one is a good order, right? It seems like you're going to be busy for at least 3 hours, right? And you're guaranteed business, one reservation after the other. Hopefully the algo has set it in a way that the pickup drop off is closer to the next reservation. But I'm looking at the mileage. I'm looking at the time of these active miles and active times. None of these look bad to me, right? So if this is coming to your city, Uber, if this is a test, release into the wild. I'd like to see this in LA myself. This is, I think, a pretty decent idea. So, don't start hating already. You guys going to say, yeah, but what if the first one cancels? Then I have to wait 2 hours for the second one. Look, shit will happen. Don't look at it negatively. If you can complete both trips and you're busy for a couple, 2.5 hours, that's what it's going to take in all these trips from the time and distance I'm seeing. And if the pickup and drop-offs are relatively close, I mean, the one on the right is what, $105? And on reservations, your tipping chances are higher. So in likelihood, one or both are going to be tipped. On second one is $75. Third one is like $60. But look at the times, 5 minutes and 1.9 miles for $18. And the other one up top is on the bundle. Where is it? Total. It says trip bundle in the middle. 2 trips, 31.8 miles, right? And I mean, it gives you the total as well in the middle, right? On the right, it says 2 trips, 64 miles, 64.7 miles. So it's adding you to both mileages. 64 miles for $105 with a possible tip is like $1.50 a mile. That's profitable to me. So I like this, Uber. See, you guys always tell me, Sergio, you're so negative. See, I commend you. I think this is a good idea.
I want, there's one change that I want to see to this.
Okay.
I want to see, it says on trip mileage. So it's just telling you the 2 trips and then it's telling you what the on trip mileage.
You want the time?
I want to know what the total mileage is. So give me the distance. All I want to know is just the distance between drop off of ride 1 to pick up of ride 2. That's all I'd want to see. Just because then I'm going to have a little bit better of a knowledge point in terms of.
Can you tell what city this is in? Oh, this is Austin. Is it Austin, right?
I think it's Austin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Austin. So this is in Austin, Texas. So I like this, Uber. Again, see, I said it 3 times and people are gonna hate me now. I like it, Uber. Continue.
I think it's a good idea. I like the fact that it's going to keep you busy for the time and you can see about how long it's going to take. And then you can kind of justify if that's going to be worth it for you or not. And then it's going to be technically considered long trips because of the distance and the time of it, but it's not going to be like going from one city to another city and then having to deadhead back necessarily. So I think that's good, unless it's a reservation trip that's going long distance. But again, you'll be able to see that and figure that out yourselves on these. But I think it's a good idea. I think it's something that it's going to have to be played out a little bit more. And I'd probably just want to see a little bit more information before. But I like the concept and I like the idea too.
You know how they do it, right? These things get adjusted and they're testing. Obviously, they're testing it. I haven't seen it in LA. So, if you guys are seeing this in your city, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I want to see how many cities they're testing this in. And I think this is a good idea. I hope Lyft, you should do this instead of your, hocus pocus, show the trip at 25 on the schedule list, but then when the ping comes in, it's 22. That's got to get fixed. That's horrible. But this I like. So, there you go.
So, if you have it in your area, let us know. Hopefully it'll roll out to more, especially if reservation rides are bigger in your particular market versus others. So, we'll go from there. We'll keep you guys posted. So make sure you stay tuned with that. So let's move on. Let's talk about what's going on with this commercial insurance. The Uber's take, and they're saying that commercial insurance is up, and it's so much more money, and blah 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 blah. And the question I think comes down to every single driver is, what does it mean to me, and what does it mean to my take? And I think that's the majority of what people are thinking. And the other side of it is, you were having a conversation with a particular individual about the commercial insurance when it comes to how they're calculated, along with the distances and the times and everything that's associated with the trip itself. And the math really didn't add up, did it?
Yeah, that did not add up. Math usually does not add up. I don't think math is Uber's strong suit. So I went and did last weekend. We put up the video. I took 20 in a row, and in those 20 trips, there were things that kind of opened my eye to this commercial insurance problem. Right? Actually, commercial insurance is something that the Uber is complaining about and saying that our rates are going through the roof. All right, so you want to hit that TOS now, Chris, or you want to hit it later?
Why don't we go through this stuff first, and then we'll do the TOS.
All right. Okay. And we free roll at the end. Okay. So, all right. So here's a trip that I did when I was taking 20 in a row. All right. Look at this, people. This trip went for 31 minutes and 32 seconds, and it was 19.4 miles. All right. If you look at on the right side of this screenshot, it says other expenses such as commercial auto insurance for asterisk. All right. We can talk about that later. So on this trip, I've spoken to Uber directly about this. Uber says commercial insurance and other expenses. What is the other expenses? Is it the marketplace fee you're hiding in there? And they are unequivocally telling me, this is Uber telling me, that all of that $13.45 is none of that is going to Uber. All of it is commercial insurance. All right. This is a 19-mile trip, Chris. If Uber at their scale is paying 70 cents a mile for commercial insurance, we are in huge trouble here. Okay. But let's skip to the next screenshot, Chris. Here's another trip that I did when I was taking 20 in a row. Look at the time and distance of this trip. This is 29 minutes and 41 seconds. All right. This is P3. P3 meaning with a butt in the back seat. And the distance on this was 21.7. So 2.5 miles longer than the first trip when Uber said commercial insurance was $13.50. And it was maybe a minute and a half less in duration. All right. Well, look at the right side of that screen. Commercial insurance, it says $9.86. So Uber, explain to me as a sane person, how is it that the risks on a shorter trip, by looking at your commercial insurance, because you're saying all of this is commercial insurance. There was no rain in California on these both trips. They were practically done about the same time of the day. It wasn't at night. It was daylight. No rain, no snow. Okay. How is it that the longer trips, commercial insurance, is less than the shorter trips, which was one was $13.50 and this was $9.80? How's that? Does that math making sense to you, buddy?
No.
So I'm asking Uber. I go, Uber, how much of this is the marketplace fee that every passenger gets charged when they're ordering a trip? That's a dynamic fee that none of you will see. So what is happening is that Uber tells me, okay, see the service fee way on the bottom, people, $2.50, and the customer paid $35.69 for this trip. Uber goes, my take rate on this trip, Sergio, was maybe 6%, which is $2.50 out of $35.69. I'm going, hocus pocus, because there was a nice tip in here. Before the tip, this trip was $22.44. So the way I'm looking at take rate, people, is customer paid $35.69. I made $22.44 before the tip. Tip should never count anyway. So the take rate, looking at that, Chris, is about $13. And 13 on $35 is 40%. So which is it, people? Because we have a video coming up with exactly this today at 6:30 p.m. Which is it? Is it what Uber says? Take rate 6% on this trip, or is it 40%? Which is it? So you guys put it 2 or 40 in the chat. I'm going, this is simple math, Uber. This is what I'm doing. Passenger paid 50. I got 25. That means you took 25. That means your take rate is 50%. Is that simple math? Should it be that way?
That's simple math. That's exactly what it should be.
Okay. So to me, you crying foul, and we're going to show the letter that's flying out in Florida, in Colorado, in thank you, Steve. Yeah, exactly. In Pennsylvania and in Massachusetts, there are letters flying out to you drivers saying that, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, our commercial insurance rates have gone up so much. Most of this shit is paid by, the other guys and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, man, my insurance rates have gone up, Uber. Are you asking me about my own insurance rates? Are you asking me about my cost of living? Are you asking me about how expensive it is to maintain my car? No. All you do, $130 billion company, listen to some schmuck on YouTube crying. And by the way, there is a trend here, Chris. Remember we ran our surveys about the take rate, and most of the people, 62% said between 50 and 75. I think that's too high. I don't think it's that high, but this is the perception. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, Uber's running a survey. What do you guys think that our take rate is, with a slider, right? So now we're talking about this commercial insurance shit for the last 2-3 weeks. And now Uber's sending out these letters saying, oh, there's the letter. He goes, there, Brian, did you know that in all 50 states, including Florida, requires commercial auto liability insurance in addition to personal auto insurance for you to earn money driving on platforms like Uber? Great. You provided the platform, Uber. Much appreciated. You run the platform yourself as your own business. What happens on there, like Vegas, what happens in Uberland stays in Uberland. You have to run your business the way you see it fit. I have to run the business what I see it fit. And in this sentence, it's very clear to me. Commercial auto liability insurance in addition to personal auto insurance. Do you know what has happened to my personal auto insurance over the last 3 years, Uber, while you're crying as a $130 billion company here? Huh? No, of course not.
Up.
Why?
It's gone up just personal auto insurance.
So, yeah, this is the letter that's going out saying that, well, that's our excuse. We're not taking money from you and paying for commercial insurance, blah, 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 blah. I saw this. I go like, this is a bunch of hocus pocus again. It says, in fact, in Florida, and on average, nearly 20% of total price riders pay goes toward government-mandated commercial insurance. It's your business you set up. It's the business you're running. Now, don't tell to the customer. First of all, you're not even paying for it, Uber. You're passing it through to the passenger. So now what's happening, Chris, is that their price elasticity, they're going like, well, shit, we're paying more for commercial insurance. Well, we can't charge the passenger more because they're not going to take Ubers. They're going to take Lyft, or they're going to do some other transportation. Well, where can we cut that? Where do you think they cut it? Oh, they cut it from the driver. I get it. With upfront fares, they go, yeah, we just lowered the upfront fares a little bit more, and we make up for that 20%. Uber, we're not stupid here. We're watching. We're talking. We're talking. This is not making sense. This is like $130 billion company crying, saying, oh, boo-hoo, my rates have gone up, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you're running a zero asset business model. You have no cars. We're running the cars. What happened to my shit? What happened to my rent? What happened to my own insurance? What happened to my food? What are you talking about, Uber? Math. We're smart here. Anyway, so yeah, now they're running these letters. After 2 weeks, we started talking about insurance. But I am going to crack the code on this. I promise you guys, I'm going to crack the code, because a trip in LA, the same time of the day, no rain, no snow, shorter trip, commercial insurance is $13.50. Longer trip, commercial insurance is $9.50. Does not make any sense whatsoever. Thank you, John. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, Uber, we'll talk. Yeah.
Well, come on, it's their expense that they have to deal with. Why are they trying to pass it off as, oh, it's just this thing that's continuing to go up? I don't know
when
what to
I
do.
tell Uber, by the way, when I tell Uber my personal liability insurance has gone up to 40%, I'm paying out of that pocket from what I'm getting from the fare, right? My rent has gone up, all this. Am I going and crying to Uber, sending letters to Uber saying that, boo, my rates have gone up, I'm getting hurt by inflation? No, but Uber sends out letters to the driver saying, well, this is what's happening, 20% higher. I'm like, I don't care, bro. You set the platform, you run the platform the way you are. So maybe we should free roll on our little
if
POS
they want to
stuff.
do Uber math and they want to calculate net profit, then we should calculate net profit and say that is our take. And then we figure out our actual take, because it's going to be a little bit lower than what the driver's actually making, because you got to factor in all those costs associated,
bro. Yeah. Yeah, there. Eric goes, my car insurance is not $230. What was it 6 months ago? What was it a year ago, Eric? I'll bet you it was like $160. That's like 30% increase. So all I'm saying, Uber, please don't do the hocus pocus. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. We know math. We're good at math. We figure this shit out. There's no reason in city of LA, two trips, identical almost. In fact, the longer one gets charged. And Chris, you all can go listen. I listen to these things. Go to the earnings call, last quarterly earnings call. New earnings coming up on February 7th at 5 a.m., by the way. We will post you on that. But Uber CFO was saying that they may go in-house for insurance now, because insurance is so expensive when they go to Progressive, Geico, third party, right? So if you go in-house, let's say one of those 2 trips that we showed, the 1350, and there was no accident. So does that mean that whole 1350 went boom into your bottom line? You know what I'm saying? If you're insuring in-house, you're taking the risk. You know what I'm saying? So we need to figure that out, Uber. We need to figure out what percentage being insured in-house, what percentage is going outside, outsource. Plus, if you're insuring in-house, Uber, you should have a line item on your earnings report that, you have to take like loan loss reserves for future accidents, because you're doing 2.5 billion trips. Accidents are going to happen. So we're going to settle this stuff. That's okay. I'm on it. Don't worry, people. We're going to figure this shit out.
Yeah. Craig, thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Craig is from Vancouver, Washington, swimming in cash.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a puzzle that needs to be solved. So we'll figure it all out. But yeah, it's definitely something. The only thing is, if they do it in-house, how is that going to calculate on their total bottom line then, and how's that going to affect their stock price as well? I'd like to know that. I'm interested there.
Well, that whole
all of that $100 a share then.
But yeah, you know why? Chris? Because if that 1350 was all take and added to my 250 service fee, the take was 40% on that. Exactly what Len Sherman said. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, we know what we're doing here too. You guys are good up there, but we know what we're doing here, and we're gonna keep following that a little bit more, Uber. Anyway.
Don't worry, we're on the case.
All right, that's like, you know who you are. But I mean, look, it's not making sense. Okay. In fact, I had sent Chris like 6 more screenshots, but I think we're going to show those. And we'll show those next week. Yeah. Like a 1 mile pickup, Chris, half-mile drop-off, $3 commercial insurance. 1 mile pickup, 2 mile drop-off, $3 commercial insurance. 1 mile pickup, 5 mile drop-off, again, $3 commercial insurance. Doesn't that make any sense? If the trip is longer by distance and duration, commercial insurance should be more, right? Yeah. I mean, because the risks of getting in a crash in a longer trip by duration and distance is more. That's how these insurance companies figure this shit out. You can't do this, Uber. We're gonna figure this shit out anyway.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, they're unrealistic. I don't know. They're realistic on their end. They're unrealistic on our end.
Well, either way, I think they're trying to move things around, and if they put it in house, but then the other side of the coin is, let's talk about government and government intervention. They're like, oh no, don't get involved. We don't want anything when it comes to our business and our business practices and what we're doing. We don't want any of that, and we're going to fight tooth and nail on anything. But when it comes to them trying to adapt certain technology to drivers, then they're, oh, please, government, can you help us out? Please, government, can I have some more? I'm trying to get, and you know what we're trying to do? We're trying to get EVs. We want to get the electric vehicles for the drivers. The drivers don't want to get the electric vehicles. Can you please give us some money so we can give it to them? Please, please. That's exactly what they're doing. So Uber CEO was in Davos just recently and trying to pander to the government there, to the officials.
He was hanging out with billionaires, bro. This is the global. Yeah. Okay, look, Dara. I dig you, but okay. So they have a mandate that by 2030, all Uber cars in California are going to be, as well as New York City, I think, right? Your mayor said some ridiculous shit.
Hey,
there.
my mayor.
Okay,
I hate New York City.
Yeah, okay. So Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, we're totally committed to the electrification of our fleets. Now, are you going to buy me a Tesla? Or Hyundai, or I'd take it if you're gonna buy me one.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna go spend 40 grand, even with the discounts, with the IRA rules, which is the 7,500 tax credit, which is being applied right at purchase now. State, California is one of the most, the best states to buy an EV in, because you have so many credits, tax credits, and cash rebates. Are you gonna buy it for me? Mr. Khosrowshahi, because I don't have the money. Because I can't do $3 trips and expect to move up to the EV world. I can't afford it. So I'm going like, yeah, if you're going to give me one, I'll drive it for you. But I don't think so anyway. So he was in Davos, Switzerland, hanging out with billionaires. And he was like, yeah, they're committed.
Hold on. Did he fly in an electric plane or did he fly in a jet plane?
His carbon footprint was like in a private jet from freaking San Francisco to Switzerland.
His carbon footprint is more than yours and my CO2 emissions for the entire. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about CO2 emission. It's all bullshit. You know why? Because guess what? The trees. How do the trees make oxygen? Oh, that's right. They use carbon dioxide. So the way we feed the trees is if we get rid of carbon dioxide, we kill the trees, which kills the oxygen, which kills you. So we need the CO2.
Funny today. Yeah. Anyway, so he was
there that you might want to try to like methane and stuff like that, but cars don't produce methane the way that you think. So
Elon will come up with an electric plane. So
I think they're working on that actually.
Yeah, he's
or they're air powered. Go down that tunnel. Go down that rabbit hole.
I have no clue. That's way over my pay scale, buddy. That's way over my pay scale. And so there was a great Axios article about what Dara is trying to do in Davos. Yeah, please.
Can we?
Because okay, first of all, okay, let's do this. Chris, do you believe by 2030 all Uber Lyft cars in California are going to be electric?
God effing no, not going to happen.
God effing no. Okay, I agree. So maybe he's trying to buy time because he's like saying we're committed, but we're just not converting drivers fast enough to electric. Yeah. Why that is? They're expensive. I would buy like a $40,000 electric car to do Uber with.
Yeah, and $1,000, $2,000 off is not going to be enough when it comes to the amount of drivers that are out there and not making enough money when it comes to it.
And the dollar EV credit is only extended for 3 more months. So you want me to buy a $40,000 car without having some sort of backup guarantee. Look, I like that dollar EV credit if it's a true dollar. We're going to test that coming up. But
don't say anything.
$4,000 a year. Okay, that's good. I get it. Okay, but now it expires on April Fool's Day. So I'm going like, well, I'm not going to go buy a $35,000 EV to do Uber with just only 3 months of a dollar EV credit. I'm just not going to do it, right? So which side of your mouth are you guys talking about now here? I mean,
yeah, and then, but then on the flip side, it's not too bad in California where you are in LA, where it stays pretty constant temperature throughout the year, but there's quite a temperature swing in my area where right now, let me see, it's 36 degrees out, but for the last week it was 15, 20 degrees. It gets cold, and you know what happens to the charge on those cold days? The charge goes down quite a bit.
Have you seen the pictures of those Teslas frozen, lined up to get charged because they only went 100 miles?
Yep. Yeah, and I mean,
I love Tesla.
Here's the reality. The reality is electrification is part of the solution. It's not the full solution. So I don't know why they're going full steam ahead. Oh wait, that's right, control. But that's a different topic for a different conversation on a different type of channel. We're talking about ride share and that. But the reality is it's part of it. There's other technologies that are out there that could be potentially either as good or better, and nobody's talking about it. I mean, one of the things that I'm hearing about is, your cell phone. The reason why I change my cell phone every 3 years is because the battery sucks after 3 years. So that's why I'm on a 3-year plan. I don't go with the latest and greatest every year. I go every 3 years. That's my lifespan of a cycle. But that's only because of the battery. The battery lasts for approximately 3 years before it just starts acting like dog shit.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking about a mini nuclear battery. I don't know how much you want to keep a nuclear battery right here when you're talking on the phone, but they're saying it would charge your phone for 50 years.
I couldn't have said it. Oh, not this one. I couldn't have said it better myself, Bryce. Exactly. Where is the commitment to the driver? You're telling the government, yeah, we're committed, but now we're just going to give driver only 3 months at a time. I'm like, no. Okay, say until 2027. we're committed to pay $1 up to $4,000 a year for EV. Okay, now we can talk about it. But 3 months is not a commitment. Thank you, Bryce. That was a good comment right there. So anyway, Axios wrote an article about this. Yeah, okay, we know all the deals. $7,500 tax credit. If you're platinum, you can get $2,000 off. And I just got an email before the show, Chris. Somebody tried to go use this deal. In fact, one of our viewers, Levi, shout out in Syracuse, he bought a Tesla Model Y with this deal with like a $14,000 in discounts. Congrats. But besides that, somebody tried to go buy a used Tesla and use this $2,000 maximum or $1,000 if you're gold discount. It does not apply to used Teslas. It has to be a new Tesla for this deal to the Uber and Tesla deal to work with gold or platinum drivers. So you guys be careful if you're going to buy a used Tesla. That doesn't apply. Although half of the $7,500 tax credit does apply on some EVs if you're going to buy a used Tesla according to your earning level. That's a lot of shit to say. So yeah. So Axios wrote it, and then they go like, how are these companies going to entice drivers to switch from ICE vehicles to EVs? It was a good article. It puts out all the points. You guys should go read it. And on the next screenshot, it says why it matters. Uber can't force drivers to go electric. Hello. Yeah, we know that. But various incentives have helped. Yeah, that's true. Have helped. It boosts EV uptake. Did you see the EV uptake here, Chris? It's 6.5%. They have converted 6.5% Uber drivers from ICE to EVs, and I don't know if that number includes Tesla Hertz rentals. They never break the shit down anyway. So at the end, now Hertz figured this is horrible business. They're selling all their fucking Teslas.
Yeah, I think in Uber math, however, it benefits them the most is the number they're going with. So I'm going to say that 6.5% is probably going to include that. But I can't say that with 100% certainty. But either way, I mean, I know there's quite a few EV drivers in chat right now. I know, and they love it. They love it. They like it. And,
I would like to drive an EV. I have one at home. I mean, I don't drive it. I mean, I have a Bolt, too small for a rideshare. If I go to airport, I can't put a luggage back there. But long story short, I like driving EVs. In California, I think what Chris said is perfect. Weather's never too cold that my battery is going to die or freeze or some other shit's going to happen. So it works in California. So the big picture, bottom line, Uber has been urging drivers to go electric since September 2020, but the uptake has only been 6.5%, and it's not enough. So now we're in 2024. We have like 6 years to go to convert. I don't know. I'll bet you there's like more than 500,000 drivers in California. You know what I mean? They go like, nobody's going to go buy electric, bro. Let me tell you. Then Uber drivers get discounted EV rentals. I got that. Okay, for example, and earn more per ride if they drive an EV. That's the dollar promo. But like Bryce said, give us some clarity. Don't do like this 3 months at a time. I mean, you want me to go spend 30 grand, 40 grand after discounts on an EV, but then you're not going to give me any clarity? No, I'm not touching.
I think the reality is, if you want me to make the commitment for a few years, depending on how often I'm driving too, like if you're a full-time driver, you're probably looking 3 to 5 years for the average car. Then I need a commitment from Uber for that entire time too. Yeah, exactly. So if you want, you have to make that incentivizing enough to be able to not just be the next few months. I mean, look, we're almost into February right now. So we got February, March, and a little bit left of January. So you got less than 2.5 months at this point now for the first quarter. After April 1st, are you going to extend that dollar EV or not? I mean, what's going to happen there? We don't know. And, to have that type of incentive is not really worth it if you're buying a more expensive vehicle. And, where are you going with that? So I think if you want us to make a long-term commitment like that, you have to be right there next to it, making that same type of commitment, or at least giving a guarantee saying that, for the time that you have that car, you will be able to get X, Y, or Z or something like that. I think something like that needs to be put in place.
I saw, by the way, when we talk about Prius, I saw the new Prius. I haven't seen too many in the street. There's like a backup list on those things. First of all, amazing looking car for a Prius, because the old Prius was shit looking. This is amazing looking. And I talked to the guy quite a bit, to the driver, the Uber driver. Expensive though, bro, like 40,000 for a Prius. I couldn't believe that. But he goes 10 gallons, but it takes him 700 miles. 10 gallons takes him 700 miles, bro. That's crazy.
I'm on Toyota's site right now. It don't look too bad. I love the black on black there.
Yeah, it looks better than the old Prius.
Blacked out. That's not too bad. It's kind of sharp looking. The only problem is, it's probably a little small, but I mean, yeah, you can't
for rideshare, Prius is the king for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
look, you cannot go wrong there at all, especially with.
And he goes, "Look, Sergio, I put 10 gallons of gas. It goes 700 miles." I go, "Holy fuck!" I go, "That's like crazy."
Yeah, that you cannot beat. You can't beat that at all. And
that's that's 3 charges on a Tesla. It's like, come on, man. You know, even without the supercharger, I think your costs are going to be less. It's not going to be that much less than the new Prius, because they have a new software, new battery. The guy goes, I put 10 gallons of gas. That's the tank. And he goes, it goes 700 miles. I'm like, holy fuck. I go, that's crazy.
You know what? Yeah. I'd like to see them make a Toyota Prius for XL. That would be kind of nice. So, Toyota? You know, you get some,
Toyota, if you're listening to Chris.
Yeah, that'd be nice, because if you could get the range from 10 gallons and drive XL, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because
then you're getting XL rates. You're getting, you might have to spend a little bit more, but you're going to get a little bit more in return. And you know, your gas mileage could still be, you know, as high as it is. You're there, it's 70 miles a gallon. So yeah, I would not go in there. That would be nice.
But anyway, so yeah, Dara, you know, you got to incentivize us to go buy the. You got to go incentivize us to go buy the goddamn car, bro. Unless Uber goes, hey, everybody switch to EVs. We're going to put $10,000 in your account, but you have, with that money, you can go to Vegas with it. You can only buy an EV with it. I'll think about it. But otherwise, I'm not going to.
Honestly, if they were going to put $10,000 towards the car note, and like you had to upload the car note to them or something, and they said, hey, we're gonna wipe out 10,000 of that. Okay.
Yeah, put the down payment in. I'll go get the car. You know what I mean? So, Dara, we can talk about that. But anyway, so there you go. That's what's happening with EVs. Yeah.
Yeah. And for those EV owners out there, hey, I'm glad you made the switch. And you know, the other dog is right there. I didn't realize. And she starts barking.
Talking about it's like you're gonna be like Gabe with the cat. That's why yeah. All right. So this is a issue coming up. Important people, please listen. I know there are some delivery people here too. All right. I'm working on this story. I need help. Okay, community. Like last time I asked you guys help. Send me those. By the way, Chris, every screenshot that I'm getting with earnings is blank now, bro.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I sent you mine yesterday. Blank. Uber. Come on, Uber. You're not playing fair, bro. I have 70 cities. Let me go to 100, and then you can blank it out. Do whatever you want. Like, how could you send it blank? Why do you even send it? What's my incentive? Because like, I don't believe the shit you send me anyway, but do you think I'm going to believe like, oh, it's busy between 7 and 10 a.m. Go out there and drive. No, don't change the game. Don't do that. Anyway. So, all right. So there is a lot of problems in the delivery world, but this is also valid for the rideshare world to a lesser degree. This is all in Spanish, but you guys can understand. I'm sure there is a whole bunch of Spanish-speaking people on the chat. This is like a regular search, Chris, on Facebook groups or Instagram or whatever, right? These are all fake account ads that you guys can go buy, okay? Here, the one on the left top, it says, I had it translated, we can get you an Uber Eats account, todos, meaning all over the United States, guaranteed in 14 days. Uber. This is a huge problem. DoorDash. I know DoorDash doesn't watch us. Why doesn't DoorDash watch us? I don't even know. Hey, Tony Shu, you can stop this. Ask for Face ID verification for all these delivery people. Look, we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago with trying to be PC. There's no right PC here. All these Venezuelan and Ukrainian and You know, all these immigrants or migrants are all doing this shit. They're going getting themselves an account. First of all, they're not the account holder, okay? They don't have the papers, but they have working papers. And they're killing, actually, the legally attained Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart accounts and Spark accounts. This needs to end. This is unsafe. This is bullshit. These people are not background checked. I literally can go down to like Eagle Rock here, Chris, and buy me. Actually, I can buy me like a Lyft or an Uber rideshare account, bro. And I'm going like, that's just not cool. So Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all of you, you guys need to, or actually on rideshare, you guys do a decent job asking for Face ID verification. DoorDash, especially being the leader, 65% market share on Uber Eats. You guys need to start doing this, because I know why you guys are not doing it. Because all those two there's more. Look at this. Look at the one on the right. Spark Uber Eats driver. Contact get you an account. I'm like, what the F is going on here? If I can find this, you don't think Uber and Lyft people are finding this? This is unsafe. One of these people, look, I love the immigration migrant story. They come here, you know, they work, they make $100, they think they're rich. And to me, obviously they're getting exploited by some mafia shit probably. They give him an account, give him a scooter, or go do 12 hours of DoorDash, you know, make $250. Here's your 50, give me the 200. I mean, look, that's different. That's a human side of the story. But the unsafe side is not every migrant is clean that comes into this country. So they're going to go deliver food to some house, and what if some shit goes sideways? Of course, as Uber Eats and DoorDash, you guys are going to pull your hands out of it. Oh, it's not our people. It's not our employee. They're independent contractors, you know, blah, 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 blah. Well, then you need to stop this. I'm working on this story. I'm seriously working on this story, people. And there's going to be some really good media attention on this coming up. Shout out to my buddy Luis at Delivery TV. We're working on it as well, because his community is mostly Hispanic and he has an amazing channel. So if you guys interested or delivery stuff, Luis Berti on Delivery TV. This, look what it says on the left. This is Lyft rental account. Lyft. Unsafe. What the hell? Okay, this needs to end. I mean, you guys are worried about passenger safety, right? More than driver. We know that. What if one of these people buys a Lyft account and, you know, sexually assaults one of your passengers, and then that passenger now is going to join a class action and sue the heck out of you? It's going to cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. You guys need to stop this, especially on the delivery side. You guys need to ask for face verification ID for every goddamn Spark, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart driver. That's what you need to do. But I know you're not doing it, because the $2 no tip order at those base rates, no other idiot is going to do that other than some poor migrant who doesn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? So we're working on this. This is bad. So if this is happening in your cities and you guys are seeing this shit, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. The legislature are coming up. So don't hit on Mulda, Jeff. All I'm saying is this needs to stop. And I'm sure it's happening in Florida quite a bit. Okay. In Texas, it's happening. In the East Coast, it's happening. Chicago, where the migrants are, you know, all these Venezuelan migrants are poor people, bro. They land here. Number one, they're getting shipped right and left in these buses all over the place in the middle of the winter. As if not enough, they land in New York City. What can they do? They got nothing else. They don't speak the language. They go rent a scooter from a guy for a couple $100. They go rent an account from some other guy, and they do, you know, 6 of them live in a room, and then they go do DoorDash. Oh, okay, unsafe. Hey, unsafe to the consumer. Forget the
unsafe
driver.
Around,
yeah, man. No, this needs to end. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say there. I agree 100% with you there when it comes to all this. So,
well, I'm not PC. Big fucking deal.
But with that being said, you know, on top of fake accounts, you know, what happens when Uber's support is trying to blame drivers for using spoofing GPS and things like that, which is kind of seeming like their go-to when it comes to certain things, which is ridiculous, but
this
still
is
happening.
This is a very frequent email I get, Chris, because, you know, these guys are hunters, right? This guy's in my backyard, bro. Once in a while, you'll get a 25 sticky. You know what you're doing, Fight Club, all the shit that you do. You have that sticky attached. You go to a shorty. Boom. Right? Look at this. Look what Uber did. What is the fare that they paid this guy? $6.55, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the upfront?
$27.55.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, you're spoofing GPS.
There.
We're taking all that surge away from you." Hey, idiots in San Francisco, this is your algorithm. The guy is just playing with your algo. Why are you bitching moaning about and taking the guy's hard-earned $21? I mean, hey, it's your problem. Fix it. The guy knows what he's doing. I'd be doing this all day long. I'd be doing picking up there, dropping off there, picking up there, dropping off there.
All right.
Not the driver's problem. Okay. And when you take the money away and the driver comes to your black hole, that is the support, the black hole of all freaking black holes, they go, "Oh, you're GPS spoofing." You're accusing the driver of GPS spoofing. Do you have proof? No. The guy knows what he's doing. He grabbed the sticky. He did a shorty. Boom. He got paid. Pay the man. This is horse shit, Uber. There you go. Look what the support people are saying to this poor guy. The fuck, bro?
Yeah. You want me to read that or what?
Huh?
You want me to read that?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, go read it.
Right. So, as I am very apologetic, but after checking all the details of this trip is not eligible for surge because of GPS spoofing. We are extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused to you. I regret transferring the chat to supervisor. However, I will be sure to pass on the feedback that you have told me to our managerial team. Quincy, since I have already provided you with the best possible resolution, there are no further resolutions to this issue. I'm now closing this chat on my end. You can write back to us if you have any further queries. Thank you for using our live chat service. I'd be like, prove it. Where's the proof of GPS?
Right there. Look what the driver said, though. Look how how cool the driver stayed. I would have blown my shit if they took me $21 out of it. Look what the driver said.
I accepted a contract with Uber to receive $27.55 for my services as an independent contractor. If this money is not paid to me as it should be, I will be reporting this to the Department of Labor and posting to social media and tagging employees of the company, including Dara. This contract was fulfilled for the terms that I had accepted and none other. Any issues are due to errors on Uber's end. Boom. Dropping that.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. In your face, Uber. And then this very, very accurate comment, except that I know LA, where he picked up and where he dropped off, the elevation is identical because it's a sea level to sea level. Yes, this is true. So if you guys are going to do some shenanigans, people, okay, don't spoof it when it's like up here 1,000 feet and then drop off at and make yourself look like, if your current GPS is 1,000 feet and you spoof yourself somewhere that is at sea level, they're going to deactivate you. I've had many friends who got deactivated doing that shit. So, yeah, don't do that. Be careful doing that shit. Okay, first of all, don't accuse this guy of spoofing. I mean, okay? I mean, it's bullshit. The guy knows what he's doing. He hunted the surge. He got his money. What is that? 4-mile, 8-minute trip for $27. Hey, pay the man. Shut up. Anyway, so I get a lot of these. Now, Uber goes, "Oh, yeah, we got to accuse this guy of spoofing because how could this guy do this?" Because I'm pretty sure, Chris, on this one, Uber lost their ass on this trip. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't know what the... Yeah, it doesn't show what it was, though.
I don't know, William. I don't know anything about spoofing. It's Fight Club, William. We'll talk about that later.
First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, you don't talk
about what's funny? My wife put that on the other day.
Fight Club? Good movie, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got? I think
all
we're
right.
done.
So yeah, we talked about the GPS and all that BS. Now we're to some funnies and some facts and stuff there.
That's
so we got some interesting conversation regarding driverless cars, autonomous vehicles. Is this where you're going to trigger me, or was that back at the Bills?
That was the wide right, but this is the second trigger. This is that was the starting trigger. This is the ending trigger. Okay, so if I fuck up, I get a ticket. But if one of these coneheads mess up, they don't get a ticket, Chris? Free like
allegedly not.
Yeah.
Allegedly not. So when driverless cars speed or run red lights in San Francisco, they can't be ticketed. The question is, Why? Why can't the company be ticketed for them not adhering to the traffic laws when everybody else on the road has to? Yeah, get the cones.
Get the cones, yeah, bro.
Oh,
You have a cone there?
cones aren't. I don't have any cone available right now.
All right.
Not at least right here. They're I have them outside.
So why are they already taking preferential treatment over humans already? What's happening here?
I don't know.
So they don't break the law? They don't run red lights? Is that what they're saying? Bullshit.
They don't even have to listen to when the police are telling them to go a certain way or not. They just kind of go right through.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, no tickets. You just got to run in the wild amongst the humans without a driver. And we're not going to ticket you either. But some poor schmuck Uber driver parks in the red. We have buses with AI cameras. We're going to take their pictures and send them tickets. I mean, what the F? Okay.
Well, here's the crazy part. They actually say police don't have the authority under California's vehicle code to ticket the cars for speeding, running red lights, or failing to stop for pedestrians. How does that make any sense?
What did it say again? What?
It says police don't have the authority, do not have the authority under California's vehicle code to ticket the cars for speeding, running red lights, or failing to stop for pedestrians. What? How does that make any sense? So basically, if they run a red light and they T-bone me and I'm driving by and I'm in the green, they're not going, but they're going to get a lawsuit up their ass because their particular vehicle is 100% liable, which means the company is liable because it's a driverless car. So you're going to see a hell of a lawsuit on top of that. So I mean, it's basically like saying for a a pill company that says, oh, we tested this and it all looks good, but we know there's a couple of problems, but we're going to release it anyway because we put so much R&D in it. We got to recoup that money somehow. It's like the exact same thing here.
No, I think it should be equal treatment. You get a fucking ticket 100%. If you fucking break the law. I mean, what the fuck?
100%.
Excuse my language today. I'm hot today, so I don't know. But so this is this is bad. I mean, this is the typical high-tech IT bro tech bullshit. Move fast, break things, we don't care. I'm like, no, man. Whatever.
Well, let it happen in San Francisco where it's a shooting range anyways. And I don't mean that necessarily. I don't mean that literally, but it is kind of. But you go on. It says, at this time, no citation for a moving violation can be issued if the autonomous vehicle is being operated in driverless mode. So does that mean if I have a Tesla and I go in full self-driving, does that mean if it speeds and runs the red light because it's in driverless mode, then I can't get ticketed?
Bro. Good question.
I like that.
Yeah, bro.
Buffalo, depending on where in New York City, but I can drive from here to the Bronx in about 6 hours. From Buffalo, literally from Buffalo. Somebody put that 8 hours.
Yes, Melvin. Yes, Melvin. Talk about it.
But yes, it's. I lived in New York City for a year, and it's much different than upstate New York, Western New York, Central New York. Big time.
Sorry.
Instead, officers are to take down any relevant information if an incident report and forward it to the department's traffic division and its commercial vehicle unit. Speeding enforcement in San Francisco has tumbled writ large. The police department, that's probably why. I mean, let's be real. Look at this. The police department reported 811 speeding violations in November of 2015, while in November this last year, it only filed 72.
That's what happens when you guys yell, defund the police. They don't give a fuck. They're going to let the shit go out of control. Look what's happening.
And then that's why you get
shit all up in San Francisco. And I'm supposed to go to San Francisco in fucking February, so I hope I don't get killed. This is one of the gentlemen who emailed me, so he showed up. There you go.
Nice. Hey. Fuck off. Here's the thing. I'm not the player. I'm a fan. Okay. So now I'm going to say go Lions.
Now he's going with the Lions. It goes wide right again. Then we're in deep shit. All right. This is the fake one coming up. Yeah.
Yep. We got some fake.
Shady. You want to pick up Shady, Chris?
No.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm sorry. That mask selfie is a little shady there myself thinking.
Seriously. So, okay. We have like 300 plus people here.
No.
Will you
What?
guys pick this? Well, what is that? Green or blue hair, whatever the fuck it is, with a mask on, and his screen name is Shady. Okay, 1 yes, 2 no.
I
Pick
would
up
not.
or no?
I'm sorry. I would not pick up him, she, they, it, anything.
Oh, is there a him, she,
Because
they, it anywhere?
anything you say, you're probably going to get in trouble for.
Is there a him, she, they, it there? No, there is no him, she, they, it.
Dude, you can't tell.
Okay.
You cannot tell.
Yeah. Okay. I will not pick you up, Shady. Not a chance on the planet, especially with a goddamn mask on, bro. Take or whoever you are, lady, whatever. And the one on the left is from Uberland. Remember, Uber. I'm gonna show one a week until this is done. I would definitely not pick up anxious. I'm already anxious driving.
You could be like, hey, I got a little something that'll help your anxiety.
Hell no. Hell no. I'm already anxious that you're gonna get in the car anxious.
I just want to know, when am I going to see the little verified badge next to one of these fake names?
I saw one. I forgot to take a
Did you
screenshot.
No, not an actual verified badge. I mean, like, you see anxious with a verified badge next to anxious.
Oh, that would be the ultimate.
With a verified check right next to it.
That would be the ultimate.
That's what I want to see.
That would be it. Well, I'll just make a t-shirt out of that. Seriously. Uber is verifying names, and then it goes anxious. This cannot be.
On top, it says, would you pick up? And then it's going to show the little, the ping screen, and it's going to say killer with a verified check mark.
With an arrow down. With an arrow down.
Hey, if you're buying that shirt, let me know. I'll make it. I'll make that. We can put that on some website.
If you're in my neighborhood and I'm driving, you both are waiting. Lady, he, him, her, they, or anxious. You both are waiting. But anyway. So yeah, Uber,
right, well, I've got a couple of screenshots that you haven't seen that I hope to get a great reaction out of you. So, one of the first things that we want to do after somebody leaves the car or at the final end of the trip, what do you do when somebody's leaving?
The car?
Yeah. When the ride's ending, when the ride ends, they're getting out of the car. What do you do?
Have a great day. Have a great night. Enjoy your dinner if I'm dropping off at a restaurant, right? I mean, some nice, decent stuff. Yeah. Normal stuff. What do you want?
Did you do anything else? Did you do anything else before driving on?
Before what?
Before driving on, going either down the street to wait.
I check. I pull over if I can and check the back seat for leftover items. Fuck. Oops. Oh. Oh. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so for those who are listening and not looking, it's some dentures.
Is that real, bro? That's not real, is it? Is that Photoshop?
That are in, I don't know, but I honestly it could go either way. Whether it's real or not, I can only imagine. But yes,
there goes my 20 in a row on Lyft this weekend. What the fuck?
You know what? I want to make, how some drivers have a sign that says, please rate 5 stars and don't forget to tip your driver. I'm going to have put a picture of this and say, don't forget your teeth or any other personal items.
Fuck.
And then underneath it'll
say, how does that even happen? How does that even go to the
how does any of the things that get left in cars happen though?
Well, no, bro.
I mean, this is the reality of it.
Okay, phone I can understand, earbuds, whatever. This is in your goddamn mouth, bro. How does it end up in there? And it's not even a good one. Look at it's so crooked. What the fuck? Like, fuck. All right.
I knew it would get you pretty good when I came across. I saw this on Facebook and I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome.
Okay.
And Shit. All right. So now the next thing that I want to know, if you pulled up to a passenger and let's say it was at a Walmart and you got a car, you don't have a pilot like myself. You got a car and they had a big screen TV or something. What would you do?
Oh, well, I have an SUV. It'll probably fit, but if it's one of those like 100 inches or whatever,
no, just You're
Oh
driving your
no,
Bolt.
I mean I will try to accommodate because I'm there already. So I will try to accommodate, but if it doesn't fit, I go sorry, it didn't fit. And you just bro, these are good. That's
Here's an
genius.
idea
So
for
how the heck
everybody.
he had the straps though, and you
Yeah.
notice the trunk is open.
Well, you know, who knows? But you know, I think that's a pretty good idea right there. I mean, you could potentially. I wouldn't want to do that with the glass.
That's a
So I mean, if
ticket,
you
bro.
look at the front, huh?
That's a ticket. That's a ticket.
Actually, it's not. That really
I
is not
bet
a
you in
ticket.
California, that's a ticket. In California, it's got to be a ticket.
It won't be a ticket, and you know why? It's
Why?
because California has different laws on things that are strapped to the car. When it comes to actually when you're filming, like this is going into filming. So if you're filming and you're using the car, and you're using straps that are strapped down to the car, you can actually do that. So this shouldn't probably have a problem. But honestly, it's actually kind of an ingenious solution
It
to
is.
some of the problems there. The
It
only
is.
thing though I would recommend, do not put the straps around the glass like that in the front. You hit a pothole and your window is going to crack. It will
That's
break
true.
100%. So please be
I
careful
mean,
if you're
look,
going to do
it's a
something
genius
like
idea,
that.
but I will not, okay, in case, okay, some shit happens, you hit the thing, it breaks, what is the owner of the TV gonna do? They're gonna probably go like,
Oh yeah, they're going to come at you.
yeah,
But
I know, I would never do this. I would go like, you know what, I will try, I will try, I will get out of the car, open the trunk, cussing under my breath, put the back seats down, whatever, and I go, if it doesn't fit, look, you know what the O.J. Simpson lawyer said, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. So all we have to do is call an XL. We're not U-Haul. Have a nice day. I mean, I will say this in my head. I will not say to the writer, but I will try to accommodate first because I'm already there. If I made the mistake seeing the ping coming from Walmart and I took it, that's already half the battle right there. That you dumb shit.
right.
You took a 269 trip at Walmart, so you shouldn't be doing that. But if you did take it, then I think you should accommodate. So.
This is my quote. Uber is not your mover.
Yes, I like it. Uber is not U-Haul.
So.
U-Haul. We're not U-Haul. We're not cut out to, next week we're going to talk a little bit about medical trips.
Now look, here's the thing. The
Super
Bowl's coming up. Super Bowl's coming up. There's a lot of TVs that are going to be on sale right now. This is actually the best time to get TVs over the next couple of weeks because this is the deals. They're doing closeout, year out deals for the next generation of models, years coming forward. So yeah, there's a lot of TVs going out. The W-2s, 1099s, all those are coming out. So taxes are going to be getting started. People are going to buy TVs. If you are in this predicament and you have a car and somebody wants you to put the TV, I don't recommend doing that. But if this is your TV and you don't have an SUV or a truck or somebody that you can borrow or have delivery, which is usually accommodated now at this point, especially with like Amazon and all of these other services that will do free delivery over a certain point or anything like that, you should probably take up on that offer. But I digress. That could be a potential option for you to get home. Just be careful when it comes down to it, and don't do it during the rain or snow or anything like that.
I agree with that very much.
For the most part, yes. Same thing with mall pickups. It could be a potential.
Somebody said put a roof rack, bro. I'm not in this. I didn't start this way. I didn't carry TVs. I didn't, and pretty soon there's like Uber Pet now. There's also Uber Child. Like you can buy your car seat and you can do this. We're not supposed to do this for $2.69. Okay, I mean, be honest. So I know. I mean, look, maybe that TV, person says, throws you a 20. It's a 2-mile trip. I'll just fucking make it fit. Do something with it, but. I mean, most of the time it's going to be a shorty because, they're Walmart. They're probably going home like 2 miles ahead or whatever. And honestly, also, you know what? Yeah, it could have been a Walmart Spark order too, Yeah,
but usually they're pretty good at sizing the vehicle properly. And then, if they're going to realize that the Spark order won't fit, they do accommodate that. And we'll cancel that particular order for the most part. Honestly, though, the easiest thing to do, get some straps and strap it in the trunk because it's going to be a lot more secure, and it's going to be at least partially in the car. If you have the little flag, that's something that you should put on it as well too, just in case you have to move a TV around. I'm not saying do it for rideshare or anything like that, only because you don't want to assume the liability. But if it's for you getting a new TV, hey, have at it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, you accommodate, try to accommodate. I mean, look, man, you accepted the ping, try to finish it. No reason to not to. But all right. So let's hit it. Let's say tomorrow, noon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, crossfire between me and Harry. Yeah, I think it was good. Did you watch it? It was pretty good.
I saw it already. So it's going to be premiered tomorrow. So you guys can go in the chat and talk about it or share your comments and thoughts. Hopefully we'll get quite a few different comments on there, sharing everybody's thoughts, because a lot of these topics are, open to what you guys think as well, and can create a lot of great communication between and see where some people's heads are at and all that. Not only that, like I say, we also are on Market Scale tomorrow morning. It's going to be 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. So we're bright and early in the morning over on Market Scale. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about how we're going to be talking about major challenges to improving rideshare safety and how the industry can work to find solutions to these challenges in 2024. We're going to be joined with special guests, Chuck Gershman, CEO and co-founder of Owl AI, and Abdul Kasim, of CEO of Display Ride. We all talked about the Display Ride dash camera and also the body cam that's out now from Display Ride, trying to help things make things safer. So yes, make sure you check us out over there. We're going to be there talking and trying to figure out some things when it comes to safety and navigating that, because safety is another key word.
So people, I asked you this like month ago. You guys were wonderful, accommodated me. I'm up to close to 70 cities with different time slots, different days. You know that Uber notification you receive in your app? It's from Uber, so we can't question that one. So lately, I got like a whole bunch this week that were blanks, because that's what they do. They watch, they go, oh shit, he's collecting some shit. So they're preempting. Now they're sending you blanks. Don't get discouraged, okay? When the reason they're sending you blanks, the median online earnings in your city is probably so shit that they're sending blanks.
It's below minimum wage at this point.
They don't want evidence. So when the numbers start going up, I'm sure they'll send you, the ones with the numbers. As soon as you start getting the ones with the numbers, send it to me. Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Somebody is asking my email, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Please do me a favor. Go to our www.rideshareguy.com. Just subscribe to the newsletter. I started writing. Don't you guys want to see how good of a writer I am? I'm actually better writer than speaker. I like my articles, except that no, I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that one. And it's my adventures out there. Like I go do trips, I go do ride challenges, and put my numbers, break down my numbers, online hour, active hour, my cost, dollar per mile. I mean, it's all good shit, which is shit all you guys should be doing. So yeah, do I have anything else? No.
We got then also don't forget on Thursday we have a great behind the wheel with a couple ride-sharing couple, successful full-time husband and wife. That was a good one where Sergio interviewed both of them. So stay tuned for that. And then also Thursday for our members, we are doing a members only live stream for our platinum members. So we will be doing that on 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So we will get that scheduled up and make a couple of posts for that, so you guys don't have to miss that. And we're gonna do a little off the cuff, a little behind the scenes, a little good stuff that you may not expect when it comes to us. So
although not a bad idea, Bruce Smith. Maybe I should start doing it. More people probably will read it if I start swearing. Maybe, I don't know.
For what?
I usually actually don't swear. You know what? I don't swear actually that much. The reason I'm Armenian.
Here.
I swear here quite a bit. I swear when I talk to Chris, but I'm not like that. I'm proper. Like when I talk to CEOs, whatever, I don't swear. However, like, did I swear when I talked to Eid Ali from MULDA? No, of course not.
No.
Look, I behave myself. I have a suspend button that suspends my swearing. Okay, I'm Armenian.
You get a little zapper. You get a little zap.
I get hot. Like when I believe in an issue, Chris, I get hot. Like you don't want to mess with me.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, when I see shit like this, you know, the commercial insurance complaining and all of the babu hoo hoo. You're a $130 billion company, Uber. Okay, stop complaining. Run your damn business on your end. You know, we didn't hit the TOS thing. Should we hit that? We have time or no? Maybe next week. We should
we'll do that next week. So then
next week we'll do that next week. Yeah. We have a wonderful idea, Uber. I may deactivate you, Uber. That's the hint.
You can be deactivated.
Oh, you've been deactivated. But anyway, all right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Please hit the like button. That's also free.
Yep.
We supposedly we get help with the YouTube algorithms. I'm not sure how that works.
I know I don't take Ozempic,
but
it's called hard work, dedication, discipline. And dude, I went to Crumble the last couple of days and got some Crumble cookies. So
bro,
I'm enjoying.
Let me tell you something. You're making me look really fat now, Chris.
Well, I'm sorry. Hey, you know, actually,
I mean, shit,
from November,
he's losing the weight. I'm gaining the weight. I mean, come on, bro. You're looking like a supermodel over there. I look like a fucking fat slob, bro. I mean, come on, man.
November 6th, I weighed in at 203. Today, it was 176. So
25 pounds you lost? Or 20?
A little over, yeah.
201? 203?
For the most part, carnivore. And then I do a 5-mile walk, 30 minutes of cardio. I work out every day. Well, 5 days out of the week. And just eat clean. Eat clean, man. I mean, there are definitely times when I go off.
He's making me look like a fat slob on the other side of the screen. Look at him. He's like, he lost half his body. I'm getting wider and wider. Maybe it's the camera angle. I'm not even sure. No,
I don't take Ozempic. I don't take any of those
Ozempic,
things.
Yes, I want to be on
a diabetes medication. If you want to do, I mean, if people are interested in learning how to lose weight and do it in a healthy way where you don't need to take this stuff, it's truly a lifestyle change. But let me tell you, where I was in October, beginning of November, dude, I was, you know, I was not in a good place when it came to feeling healthy in any way. You know, I was I was having problems with like heart. I was having problems with, you know, just my mental state on that because I was so like hyper focused and, you know, doing the stuff that I've been doing, like eating properly, taking care of myself, and being rideshare driver, it gives you the flexibility to be able to do these things when you can, especially during downtimes. So like you can actually go out for a nice walk around your area or a new area and see that. You can go to a gym, or, you know, if you have multiple gyms of the same gym that you're a member, you can go to different ones and work out, and you know, you can get in that. Because let's be real, if you're driving rideshare, you're in your car a lot. And if you look down, I guarantee you your waist is a little bit bigger than it was, and your health is a little bit worse off than it was before.
I should do that.
So I mean, if that's something that you guys want or more information on, I'm more than happy to share it. You know, I've been
Chris at the rideshareguy.com, not Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. Chris at the rideshareguy.com, not me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the fitness industry for probably since I was 18. So I mean, that's almost 20 years. So I have a lot of knowledge, and you know, the last couple of years, I just took off and ballooned up. I mean, my highest, I was at 215. So I've actually lost over 40 pounds. And you know, it's doing it naturally and stuff like that.
We should do an episode or a segment in a live about physical, mental, emotional challenges of being a rideshare driver, because it's not physically healthy thing. You're sitting on your ass and your diet is probably shit. You're eating fast food most of the time, right? And I'm going like, we should talk about that. I think that's an important issue. I think we should talk about that.
I'm game.
Yeah.
Let me know and we'll do it.
So
yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll get it set up for you guys. But, and then here, you know, actually one of the biggest other things, you know, you can say, oh, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. But the reality is, until it becomes an actual habit, which is usually takes about a month, it's very easy to fall off. Having somebody you're accountable really makes a difference. So my buddy and I we're pretty much around the same weight. We had the same exact type of problem. And we had the exact same kind of idea to, you know, get started. We send each other our weigh-ins every morning, and it really kind of made that first month much easier, and then it formed a habit. And now I'm at the point where it's like an addiction almost, where I love going out for my walk. I love going to the gym. I love, doing those physical activities, because I can see on the scale that it's helping. I can see in my form, I can see in my physical self that it's actually helping. So, and that's where it's drive the habit now. And, I look forward to that. So instead of like dreading it, I really look forward to it. I'm really happy. So it's like a reinvigoration of that whole thing.
Yeah.
But having that accountability, and I mean, if that's something where you're kind of like, there, we could probably work something out where we can get some sort of accountability to kind of keep you guarding, going on, keeping on track, and continue on until things become a habit. Because once they become a habit, it's like driving. You don't even think about it. You just drive. So yeah.
Yeah. No, he's doing great. Making me look bad, but it's okay. I'm too old. I had COVID. That's why I haven't done shit
Oh,
physically.
not
But
anymore.
streaming frames. That's exactly the Seattle Washington rates. $1.70 and 55. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for joining us, guys, gals, drivers, brothers and sisters on wheels. We'll have some news next week about the 14th. I'm trying to put some shit together. We actually have a great behind the wheel coming up on that with Torsten, the rideshare professor. He graced us with his presence. And we talk quite a bit about that. It's going to be a good behind the wheel. So yeah, we're working on things. Okay, Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. Keep being my eyes and ears. Send me anything and everything. I'm overwhelmed, but I will respond eventually. And screenshots, whatever you guys want. So much love. Stay healthy. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yep. Do we have any guests, or we freeballing it?
Tuesday?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure something. And not at the moment. We don't have a guest. Although I am setting up somebody. If they want to show up next week, then they show up next week.
Yep. All right. Well, that being said, have a great rest of your week. Get out there, make that money, be safe, be
Thumbs
smart,
up.
and we'll see you guys
Please.
next week. Yeah, hit
Freebie.
that thumbs up.
Thumbs up.